Well, good evening. We'd like to start the meeting, and I'd like to ask you all to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can I get a motion to approve our meeting agenda?
I'll motion.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Wood, second by Mr. McCarthy. Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you. With that, I'd like to ask everyone to join us in a moment of silence just to remember Mike LeNave, who passed away this past week. He was a special education teacher, and then talking to Mrs. Wood, also a life skills teacher here at the high school, and passed away this past week. So please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, we don't have any blue cards, so we'll dispense with the community open forum. We also don't have special presentations to the boards. We will dispense with that as well and move right into our reports. Unfinished business is data discussion, and I don't believe, unless Mr. Colabupo has updates, we'll be addressing that in December. Just a quick on the Board of Education presentations upcoming. What Pearl has done is attached it right in our agenda here. So the only ones we have scheduled right now is in December when our next meeting is at Central Square Middle School. So Mr. Penrod will be presenting at that one. And then also at that one, Mr. Colabupo and I are going to do a short presentation just on what we presented at the school board convention last month, just to kind of fill the board in on that. But that will actually get us right through until the end of January, so fairly light as far as that goes. All right, so we'll open it up for open board. Anything from any of the board members? Any topics to bring up or items for discussion? Mrs. Wood?
Yeah, I talked to Paul briefly when I came in. The back parking lot at Hastings Mallory did have crushed stone added, but it's still very muddy, very wet, and the way they have the parents, now that they're not coming to the front parking lot, they're driving to the back parking lot to pick up their kids from basketball, and it's a very wet, muddy mess. So I'm just wondering if we can, Paul said he's going to go up and take a look at it, and I wondered if we can just see if there's another option for us to tide us over.
All right, so we'll refer that to Mr. Colabupo and Mr. Brissett. All right, anything else from the board? All right, we will go into our superintendent's report. And by the way, the superintendent is giving a report on his birthday. So happy birthday to Mr. Colabupo.
And you have to sing.
All right, here we go. The following teams are Fall Scholar athlete teams:
cheerleading, gymnastics, boys volleyball, girls tennis, girls cross country, girls volleyball, girls and boys soccer. To receive scholar athlete team recognition, the team's average GPA for 75% or more of, or at least 75% of the roster must be greater or equal to 90. So that is a phenomenal accomplishment. Emma Herman was selected to the Syracuse.com Post Standards All Central New York girls soccer team for 2018 season. Congratulations. You all know, because the nice fine gentleman came several times about trap shooting. Thank you. And how that's a club. So he came in. They did a phenomenal job. This will be posted here at Central Square. At Paul V. Moore. They, out of 9 teams or clubs, they came in 4th, which was a major accomplishment. They had a great first club season. So that's really nice. Something else, I will pass some this way and some that way. So the Red Hawk University is really growing. We have a lot of parents that have contacted myself and Jen DiBianco, just raving about it. We've had ones about internet safety. We've had them about safety overall. We've had a number of different issues that they've had here across our district and county and country. The December 9th is what I had just given the board. Daniel Baldwin is going to be speaking, and December 7th from 7 to 8. Thank you. It's how experience, strength, and hope has helped Mr. Baldwin overcome addiction, and how those attributes can provide a foundation of support for you or someone that you care about. So we got a lot of interest from the superintendents in our county asking, can we send some staff? We have a lot of interested parents, and we will pack our auditorium on December 7th. This is the opiate epidemic is rocking our country, and a big part of that is addiction to painkillers. He does a phenomenal job in these talks, so we're very excited to be able to provide that opportunity. He's a great resource. So that will be on December 7th. I wanted to share that. It's been a very, very, very great and busy back to school. Our last College and Career Readiness Committee meeting was awesome a couple weeks ago, not even last week. We have a real targeted focus for that committee specifically, and that is to build the greatest job shadowing, internships, and mentoring that we can possibly provide our students. So right now, the committee, overall, there's 150 people. We only had about 50 at the last meeting, but it's a busy time. A lot of people called and said they will absolutely be at the January meeting. But even though they couldn't be here, they said that they want to be part of it and still be in subcommittees, depending on different career fields, to bring in some of these phenomenal opportunities for people in our community and greater community at large to be part of this, hosting our students. And that's where we really want to be able to provide our students. It's not just the academics and the content in their classroom, but it's actual real-life job experiences before they decide they want to go and spend a lot of their money or their parents' money to pursue an interest that really they could find out that they don't want to do it or that they absolutely love it. And it is another motivator. So that more to come on that. It's very exciting. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Colabufo. All right, we'll move into items for action and discussion and action. First, I'll make a motion to accept item F1, which is the approval of the first reading of proposed district policies. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. McCarthy. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Can I get a motion for item F2, approval of the second reading of proposed district policies?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. McCarthy, can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Loyer. So after a vote on these, if they're approved, these will become policy. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's unanimous. All right, I'll make a motion for item F3, approval of the unified bowling team.
I'll second.
Mr. Bedworth. Open for discussion on that one. I'll just point out, I think Mr. Loyer pointed out, we see the same letter here and we see it in personnel as well, because we're approving the program here, then we're later on voting on whether or not to approve the position to be filled, and then at a later date we will approve whoever the person chosen to fill the position is, so everyone's clear on that. Any other discussion? All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you. Can I get a motion for item F4, which is approval of the 2017 capital construction projects? These are 3 Phase 1 contracts for roofing, mechanical, and electrical.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. McCarthy with the motion, Mrs. Wood with the second. Any discussion?
In reverse order.
No discussion? All those in favor?
Gotta be none.
That is unanimous. Thank you. I'll make a motion for item F5, approval of the single audit report. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Deloye, any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you. Item F6, approval of the extra classroom activity funds financial report. Can I get a motion?
Second.
I'll make a motion.
Mr.
Guys, other order, other order.
Mr. McCarthy with the motion, Mr. Loy with a preemptive second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
It's called focus, folks, focus. Pay attention.
I'll make a
expedite.
motion for item F7, approval of the memorandum of agreement between the Central Square School District and the Central Square Administrators Association. Can I get a
I'll
second?
second.
Mr. McCarthy, any discussion? All those in favor? And that is unanimous. Thank you. Just taking a look. Can I get a motion to accept item G in its entirety, which would be item G1, acceptance of Committee of Special Education recommendations. Item G2, approval of the food service contract with Pulaski Academy and Central Square. 3 would be approval of donations, which is the Gaga Ball pit at Brewerton. And then item G4 is disposal and surplus of property.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Loy, second by Mr. McCarthy. Any discussion?
I just want to comment. And it's just a general comment that since we are looking at or doing this with Pulaski Academy, adding on to our food service, I really want Dave to take a look at what we can do in our elementary buildings. We've upgraded some of the things at the middle school. We've upgraded some of the foods at the high school, and I think it's time that we did that at the elementary schools. When we get a salad, when the kids get a salad, it's just lettuce, and that's it. And the leftovers from because they had turkey on Thursday, they had leftover turkey today. So I just think we need to be a little bit more creative on how these kids are getting their meals, and are we making it presentable for these young kids? Because we're doing it for the high school and the middle school. Elementary kids should be given the same opportunities.
And I can speak to that. So since I've got the email, because you're not alone in that, Lori.
I know.
I'm going to be meeting with Dave, and he's very receptive to any of the things that, that you guys come up with, and he has some ideas as well.
Oh, good. Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion on item G in its entirety? All those in favor? And it's unanimous. With that, just letting the audience know and the public know that we're having 2 executive sessions. The first one will be fairly short. There will be action to follow. The second executive session will be quite lengthy with no action to follow, and that we'll announce that one later. But at this time, I will make a motion that the Central Square School District Board of Education moves into executive session to discuss matters leading to the employment of a particular person. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Loya. Any discussion? All those in favor? Thank you. We'll be heading to the closest conference room here for this one.